Prologue: A Warrior's Destiny. In the land of Sparta, where warriors were not just trained, but forged, in fire, a young boy stood before his mother. "Come back with your shield or on it." That was the Spartan way. A warrior either returned victorious or was carried home in death. Cowardice was never an option. From the moment he was born, a Spartan was not a child but a future soldier. At the age of 7, he was taken from his family and sent to the Aidagog, the brutal training camp that shaped boys into warriors. The training was ruthless. They were starved to learn survival, beaten to endure pain, and taught to fight as one unit, never breaking rank. Among these boys was one who would grow into King Leonidas, the man who would one day stand against the might of the Persian Empire. The invasion of Persia. In the year the 480 BCE, a dark shadow loomed over Greece. King Xerxes of Persia, ruler of the most powerful empire in the world, had assembled a massive army, some say over 1 million men. His goal? To erase Greece from history. City after city fell before the Persian tide. Athens prepared for war, but the Greek city-states were divided. Some wanted to fight, others wanted to surrender. Sparta, however, never surrendered. When the Greek council debated what to do, Leonidas stood up. "We fight." But the laws of Sparta were strict. The full army could only be mobilized by the Spartan council, and they hesitated. So Leonidas chose 300 of his finest warriors, his personal royal guard, to march north and hold the Persians at Thermopylae, a narrow pass known as the Hahat Gates. If the Persians wanted to conquer Greece, they would have to pass through this deadly bottleneck first. The arrival at Thermopylae. As the 300 Spartans arrived at Thermopylae, they were joined by a few thousand Greek allies, but compared to the Persian army, they were nothing. On the first day, Xerxes sent a messenger. The Persian king did not wish to waste time battling a few hundred men. "Spartans," the messenger said, "our arrows will blot out the sun." A Spartan warrior smirked. "Then we shall fight in the shade." Xerxes, amused but impatient, gave an order. "Destroy them." The battle begins. The Persian army surged forward like a tidal wave, confident in their overwhelming numbers. But as soon as they entered the narrow pass, they realized their mistake. The Spartans fought not as individuals, but as a single unbreakable wall of shields and spears. The first wave out of Persian soldiers crashed into the Spartan phalanx, but they were slaughtered. The Spartans' discipline was unmatched. While the Persians fought with wild swings, the Spartans struck with precise, deadly thrusts. For 2 days, the Spartans held their ground. Even when Xerxes sent his court-immortals or his elite Persian warriors, the Spartans annihilated them. The narrow pass ensured that only a few Persian soldiers could attack at a time, neutralizing their superior numbers. It was a slaughter. The Persians could not break the Spartan line. The betrayal. On the third day, fate turned against Leonidas and his warriors. A Greek traitor named Ephialtes betrayed his homeland. He revealed a secret mountain path to the Persians, one that would allow them to flank the Spartans and attack from behind. When Leonidas learned of this, he knew what it meant. They were surrounded. His Greek allies panicked and retreated, but the Spartans stood firm. Leonidas turned to his men. "This is where we make our last stand." The warriors did not flinch. They simply sharpened their blades, ready to meet death like true Spartans. "Eat well, my brothers," Leonidas said, "for tonight we dine in Hades." The final stand. The Persian army attacked from both sides, arrows blotting out the sky, swords clashing in a symphony of war. Leonidas fought like a lion, cutting down Persian after Persian. His warriors followed, their shields forming an impenetrable wall of steel. One by one they fell, but not before taking down hundreds of Persians with them. Finally, an arrow struck Leonidas in the chest. He collapsed to his knees, blood pouring from his wounds. His men fought until their last breath, refusing to surrender. They fought until the very last Spartan was dead. The legacy of the 300. The Spartans were gone, but their sacrifice was not in vain. Their bravery inspired all of Greece. In the months that followed, the Greek forces united and launched a counterattack, ultimately defeating the Persian army at the Battle of Plataea. Leonidas and his 300 did not just fight for Sparta. They fought for all of Greece. Even today, when people speak of courage, discipline, and warriors who never surrender, they speak of the Spartans.